Before we get into this video, I'd like to explain that we're just doing a quick, simple little project here. You can call it a solder follow-up to the video part 2 on the PA amps. No big deal here, just a little bit of experimenting with this, with our computer system here, and linking pieces of clips together and editing and so on. So enjoy you sitting back watching this, but just relax. We're not doing anything great here, and I'll throw some stuff on the channel now and then until we get back to the real bus business. Okay, sit back and watch this little soldering tip. Hi everybody, Phil, bus old man Phil here. Well, this is a very special day today. A friend of mine is here with one of his projects, so we're going to do some soldering on XLR connections today. So come on in and say hi, Glenn. This is Glenn.
Hi, everybody.
Glenn came to us from the Bus Old Man series last fall when Bus Grease Monkey was here working on the 4103. Glenn volunteered to help us. Why don't you get in the center of the picture here,
Here,
Glenn,
let me
so
just turn the camera a little bit. There.
See, now we're live, and all this fiddling around was supposed to be done in the rehearsal. So here we are fiddling around the real thing. Okay, Glenn, what did you bring?
I brought a audio adapter cable here. It's XLR female on one end, and what they call TRS. Tip ring sleeve.
Okay, TRS. I thought that meant something else.
Tandy Radio Shack.
Okay.
I don't know if you'll be able to see it.
Well, we're going to get the light out here.
We can zoom in on it after a bit.
Yes, all right. Okay, Glenn.
And since I am so pathetic as a ham operator that I lost my soldering iron, I said, Phil, can you solder this baby up for me?
Can you believe that? Pathetic.
Yeah.
He's half my age and he's calling himself pathetic.
Any guy who loses his soldering iron is pathetic.
What makes you think I know where mine is?
Because you already told me where it was. It's right over there on the bench.
Okay.
You got it out ahead of time.
Yes. All right. And we got the camera.
And we got the camera. We got the evidence.
Okay. Is it the monitor that's too high or the camera?
No, I didn't tighten the tilt on the thing so it slips.
Why, you big dummy.
That's how pathetic I am.
Well, all right. Well, folks, when
do you want to solder this thing?
He's not going to be as pathetic as he is now. When he leaves here, he's going to be glad, and he'll be back soon. I guarantee that. Okay, Glenn.
Do you want to solder this baby up?
So you go ahead and you get the camera around. We don't have any lights because I forgot to set the light up. So while you're fiddling with the camera, I'll find the light, and we'll get that going. By the way, if you guys want to do some studio lighting, I've discovered these. Now you think this is a regular 4-foot fluorescent fixture. Well, that's what we used to have. This is a brand new LED fixture. It puts out 4 times the light of a standard fluorescent fixture. Doesn't draw much current, so you could hook 100 of them up. And I planned this ahead of time to plug in this. And so now we'll have some light on the subject. And this is how we're going to do this. When Glenn gets the camera moved around to the other side of the room here, come over here with the camera.
Go over there? All right.
Yeah, it's not on now anyway, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they don't want to see all this junk, so you can edit that out. So here's how we do it. We put this light here, and we put this project in the vise, where we're going to solder it. And now be careful, folks. Can you see this, Glenn?
Yeah.
All right, Glenn is operating the camera. We put this here like that to hold that nice and solid. Then we get a light propped here somewhere. Glenn, you can hold the light.
All right.
Now.
Can't you just prop it up with it shining down?
Yeah, somewhere here.
Yeah, like that. That'd be good.
Okay, now, can you see that, Glenn?
I'm sure I can.
Can the camera see it?
Here, set it there, just like there. There you go.
It's not going to stay there.
There you go. That's good. We got enough light. We can see. Light is not our issue.
Okay. Remember the other day, folks, I told you that we're going to be I'm going to be using this Weller soldering gun, this 140. Now, I like the Weller guns better than any other, but one thing I don't like about Weller is the high speed is the first position of the switch, the 140, the hotter of the two. I would think it would be more logical to have the 100 the first position. So when this switch breaks, which they do, I'll wire the new switch the logical way. Logical to me. Okay, so now I had talked to you before about solder, and I'm going to bring this up again for review. Do not buy lead-free solder to do electronic or electric work. Buy the leaded, the 6040 solder. This is available at Ace Hardware and at Menards. This particular brand is what I found. Any brand that says 6040 electrical solder, you see that? Mm-hmm. This has lead in it. And the lead won't hurt you if you don't eat it and you don't rub it on your nose or stick it in your ear. Lead will not hurt you. And don't feed it to your kids either.
Or the dogs.
Well, if your dog bites you, this will cure the dog biting. Fill them full of lead, either this way or this way. That'll solve that. See? Thus old man can fix anything.
But you digress.
I digress, yes. All right, good. So here we go. All right. Now, if you will notice, these leads are a bit on the long side. And also, I don't know if you can see these little tiny hairs. See these little tiny hairs?
They're pretty small, but we'll take your word for it.
All right, can the camera pick those up, those two little fine hairs?
Yep.
Those are little strands of copper wire that are going to short circuit this plug if you don't secure them up into this. Now create a bundle out of these loose wires by twisting them like this. And then you see another one shows up. Twist them all together like that. See that? Mm-hmm. Now, we'll warm up the soldering gun. This takes about 10 seconds, 15 seconds. And I have little pieces of lead. I cut pieces off of the big roll. It's just easier to handle this way. So warm up the soldering gun until you see smoke. And test it. See if it'll melt solder. Don't go to your work until you're sure. See the smoke? Mm-hmm. Okay, now I'm melting solder. See that? Now bump that off like that. Don't slam this on a hard surface. Slam it on. That knocks the solder. Now come over here to the wire, and with the solder, the hot soldering gun and the solder together, we tin that wire. Who said I'm not shaky? Old men shake. See that? We've tinned that. Now don't worry about that blob on the end, because we're going to trim that off anyway. What I mean by that is, where is my... It's nice to have these little tools like this handy. Don't buy big auto mechanic side cutters. Now, if you'll notice that where the wire is already soldered, we're not going to disturb that. So this is the point where the wires are going to go into the plug, and you'll notice the wire is too long, so we're going to snip that piece off. Just like that. Now the wire is tinned and ready to go. Now let's check this wire, and we see this wire is long enough so that we can cut off all this blobby junk here. just like that. And now we can make a nice brand new connection. I cut that off, so I'll use something else instead. This clipper is a little too large for that fine wire. There we go. See that? All right, now we want to repeat that tinning process. You notice there are no loose strands of wire, so we don't have to worry about twisting those. And again, the hotter position is the first position. And again, let it warm up. They are slow. Those of you that have a soldering station with a temperature control can use the little pencil guns like these. But they get too hot, just plug straight in. You notice this has an hour of work on it and it's already hot enough that it's starting to burn and corrode. So, all right, make sure our tip is hot enough to melt the solder. Bump off the excess solder. Now go to the wire and the solder again. Okay. Now, can you see that, Glenn? Mm-hmm. See, that wire is now tinned. Okay, now we're ready, and I say now a lot. You people know that by now. Now we're going to loosen this up and check these ground connections to make sure they're not so long that they're going to short against the other terminal. See how close that is to the other terminal? What happens is one wire, as you can see, is longer than the other. Can you see that? Yep. Those wires should be the same length. We're not going to unsolder that, so I'm just going to pinch that together. To make it look like there's only one. And you see now, we can steer clear of the other connections. All right, now, the next thing we're going to do now is determine which of these two wires goes on which terminal.
In this case, they both go on pin 2.
I see. Is this pin 2?
That is pin 2.
And you want the red and the white wire both on that. Is that correct?
You are correct.
All right, then let's kind of see if we can't twist them together so that they're the same length. And we're going to do that by wrapping the longer white wire around the shorter red wire. You see that? Mm-hmm. All right, now we're going to solder those two together to make them one. You can say something, Glenn. You can talk.
I'm listening. Well, very informative.
I'm not talking right now. I'm waiting for the gun to heat up so we don't have any quiet spots in this video.
It's okay to have dead air.
Oh, I don't like dead air. See, I'm getting in a hurry, and what I've done is nothing. I've accomplished nothing. So again, just test it till you can melt a piece of solder. By the way, this solder has a rosin core or resin core. You don't need any kind of flux. It's pre-fluxed.
Easy for you to say.
Yes. I don't think I've ever said that before. Let's see how we're doing now. Boy, it's getting slow. Okay, when your soldering gun slows down, it's time to tighten the pins. What we have here is, this is a transformer in here, and this acts as a conduit for the current. Because it's like a short circuit, this copper is carrying the current from one side to the other. In the process of carrying that heavy load, it's heating up. Well, what happens is this connection gets loose, so we work this set screw so that it digs into that copper. It digs into this. See, these get loose. And when that happens, then it makes a poor contact, and this is not carrying the current that it should. So now we tighten that up and then put these back before you lose them, which I already have. Now you can actually feel the vibration. See that? See how fast that heated up now? Okay, now get over here and touch this. Okay, now we've made one wire out of two. You see that? If you look on one side and see it's not quite a, remember there's enough solder on it to join it as one. All right, now position this back into your vise. Oh, if you have any cute chicks hanging around the house, you can put them to work holding this for you.
Will I do in a pinch?
Yes. You're not a cute chick, but you'll do.
But I'll do.
Yes. Actually, he ain't bad looking, guys. Glenn ain't a bad looking guy. We don't need any solder because, as you can see, if you look down here, you can see that this has already had solder on it. You see that solder already on it? Mm-hmm. And there's solder already on the wire, right? So position the wire.
So you can hold it yourself.
You can't. You still need to hold the connector.
And the wire.
And the wire. You need to hold them together. Preheat your gun again. And touch them. Not enough? Do a little more. Do it again. But do it quickly because you don't want the heat to go up into the connector. Now inspect your work. See that solder down there? No, that's enough solder. You don't need a pound of solder on these fittings. All right, there you go. Now the next step, of course, is to, again, inspect. And we're going to do that with the light here. Look here. Make sure, why don't you put the camera through the...
I don't think that'll work. I can see it better from here.
So you can see it through the magnifying glass.
You think it will see through?
See? I don't know. Look at your monitor.
Okay.
See that? See that? Those two wires are soldered right there. You see that ground wire is soldered, and you see that they're separated. You might want to just make double sure. It looks like the same ground. Is it?
Yeah, they're both.
Okay, so there's really only two connections then, huh?
Yeah, in this one, yes.
Okay, all right. So, is this satisfactory? Is this the way you wanted it wired, Glenn?
It looks excellent.
Well, I wasn't looking for comments that time, but I'll take them anyway.
Yeah, that would be
Yes,
good.
I'm lonely and insecure, so I'll take all the comments I can get.
Aren't we all?
I don't know. I don't know enough about you yet. I haven't talked to your girlfriend yet, or your wife,
Be careful.
or either one of them.
Be careful. Don't get me in more trouble than I already am.
Well, you know. Okay. Now, this is something that I brought up to you before, folks, is make damn sure you could have untangled this before you brought it over here.
I could have, but then it wouldn't be.
Well, I don't like stressing those connections. Make damn sure that you have slid this onto the wire before you solder up everything. How many times in my life have I done a beautiful job of soldering only to discover I forgot to put the sleeve on?
Can you count that high?
So, oh hell no. Now that goes in there like that, and we're ready.
We have
See
to
the
find
little
another
set
screw.
screw?
We have to find one
Now,
for it.
now, here's another piece of advice, people. Put the camera on me because I want them to see me. Because you have to pay attention now. When you purchase these XLR connectors, never buy one. Always buy at least two, because you're going to lose this little tiny set screw. And you're going to be glad you had two of these. All right, and that's what we're going to deal with now. We're going to pull apart a perfectly good brand new XLR fitting and use the screw. So that'll do it for the moment while I dig out of that. Or you can follow me over to my parts room, but you're going to need a light, Glenn.
Yeah, we'll be okay.
Oh, we will. Huh?
Sure.
Okay, so here we have XLRs. Now in my project I use the XLR4s because on the bus amps we need that keying terminal to key the amp or turn it on. These are what they look like. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a common ground. We don't wire up the common ground to the mic connections ever. The mic return is not a common ground. Do not connect your mic return to a ground unless you want hum and static and all kinds of and so the microphone return wire goes back to the amplifier input, and the amps are wired so that the microphone ground is separate from the common ground. All right, so pick an older one like that to steal the screw out of. You can use an XLR3. Here's a male one I could sacrifice.
Oh, that's a good connector. Yeah, take the one in your hand.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to use that one again.
Well, this is a sleeve that I've probably forgotten. Or maybe, oh, here, okay, here's a mate. Okay, see? And look it has the screw in it. Well, what do you know? So, all right, we'll take this screw. Okay, this is my inventory of parts for my radio.
That looks like an old library card catalog.
That's exactly what it is, an old Dewey Decimal System card catalog. When Minneapolis was converting over to the computer system, they sold these cabinets. All right, so careful there.
Too many obstacles here.
Yes. Glenn is a technician, not a cameraman, so he
Now, wait a
has
minute.
trouble moving about the room.
I'm a cameraman. I'm just not very good at walking. Will that one fit in there?
Well, if it doesn't, we'll find one that does. You see, if nothing else, people, you can use a number 4 sheet metal screw and file off the end of it. This kind of work is becoming more and more difficult for me because I don't have the stability I once had.
You want to hold the camera and let me put that in there?
Yes, let's do that. Okay.
The trick to this is set it on the bench.
How do I zoom in?
There's a rocker up on the top there. I think this might be too big.
You think that screw is the wrong size, huh?
It might be. Yeah, I'm sure of it. Oh, it looks like the... Well, we could test it on here to see if it'll go in here. Well, it goes in there. It just didn't want to go through the shell. So it'll
Well,
go in
that's
there.
what I thought. It's just a
No.
matter of lining it up right.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not going in here either. It's not going in there either.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
It's got to be
run
a
up.
smaller one then.
All right, run over and pull a brand new one out of the cabinet. I'll just stand here and practice holding the camera still. This is a Canon camera that Glenn brought with him, and here's the zoom. That's pretty neat. It's a rocker on the top of the camera. Ooh. Ooh. I wasn't expecting it to fly out of focus. He told me this was a $20,000 camera.
I didn't tell you that.
Really something he bought at a garage sale on his way over here.
Excuse me? I guess we got to take these out first.
Where is your, what are you doing there? Okay. Oh, all right, he found what he wanted. Use the larger screwdriver so you don't twist
Do you
that
have another one? Oh, okay. That one's like really tight in there. That one ain't coming out.
Turn it the other way. I forgot. It's reverse thread. It's reverse thread for those.
Reverse thread.
Yes. The screw turns out to secure the shell to the plug. I forgot. I always forget.
Well, maybe then that other one will work.
Okay, then try the other one. Try the other screw again. I forgot.
Oh, I didn't realize those were
I
reverse
forgot
threads.
they were reverse thread.
Okay. So we want to put it in there first and then back it up.
Yes.
That makes it a little more
See, this is the thing, people, is that when you get old and senile, I'm trying to do kid stuff. Come on, come on, come on, Glenn.
Doesn't want to cooperate. No, that ain't going in there.
All
either.
right, then forget it. Take the other screw. Maybe that's a right-handed thread.
This
That's
one,
a
that
right-handed
one is a
screw going
right-handed
into a
screw.
left-handed.
Yeah, because it's one of the back ones.
This is a product of poor memory, people. This is not a product of screwy engineering or
Well, it could be.
funny stuff.
This one. I guess there's no threads on this thing anymore. This is still too big. We'll have to find another screw. Make that for another day.
All right, okay, let's just put it together the way it is.
Yeah, we'll just leave it. We'll find one. It goes together like that.
All right. Anyway, so is that it or what?
That's it.
Here's your camera back.
All right.
So what I suspect has happened is, if you'll notice, these two look different. To tell you the truth, Jeff, these two don't look anything alike. I don't know what that was, but look at how much different they are.
Yeah.
So it's very possible.
I got the perfect solution for that. Duct tape.
Duct tape. Oh my God. I want you to know this, people. That was another time and another place. What was his name? Green.
Red Green.
Red Green. This is not the Red Green Show. Do not say duct tape in the bus old man shop. Okay? Well, that'll do it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. As usual, I appreciate all your comments.
More shenanigans at another time.
Yes, there you go. You heard it from Glenn. Now, I just want to tell you I appreciate all of your comments. So keep them coming. I don't acknowledge everybody, but let me send my spirit to those of you who I do not reply to. I still know you're there and I appreciate your comments. Thank you. Right if you get work and hang by your thumbs.